Mr. Webb could not find a single fact that would support a counterclaim against the association. The General District Court told him that it would sanction him in the future if he filed these pleadings. He had said, well, how am I supposed to know I'm not a lawyer? And the court said, well, if you're not a lawyer and you don't know it, then you shouldn't be filing it. Yes. That's the Carlton's case. All right, so Mr. Webb, you can have a seat. Mr. Cafferty, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. I'm John Cafferty. I'm the school board attorney for the Arlington County School Board, and I'm here on behalf of the school defendants who are Monique O'Grady, one of the school board members, one of the 5 school board members, Linda Erdis, who's an assistant superintendent in charge of community relations, and what's described in the complaint and the amended complaint is Arlington County Public Schools, not actually a legal entity. The legal entity is the school board. And we're here on our motion to quash, or on the alternative for leave to file the demur and plea and bar that we filed. And I will say that demur and plea and bar are addressed to the amended complaint, as I indicated, Your Honor, in the motion that we filed. I only discovered that this lawsuit was out there last Thursday afternoon. As it turned out, the plaintiff has a number of different claims against a number of different parties. One of them in this amended complaint has to do with his dissatisfaction with the board's decision to rename Washington Lee High School.
Right.
As it turns out there's 1 or 2 other people who are unhappy with that as well. There was another lawsuit that was received and served either on the same day or the day before. The secretaries who got these additional copies thought that they were just further copies of this. They weren't really in a position to have authorized to receive this process on behalf of Ms. O'Grady or the school board or Ms. Erdis. As I mentioned, when I started getting filings from these other defendants, or when they were forwarded to me, I went over. I thought it was sort of funny that we hadn't gotten any service copies of any against the school defendants. So I came over here last Thursday afternoon. To my surprise, found that there was a return of service for the school defendants. Immediately filed this motion, and have also filed a demur and plea and bar.
But that was the amended complaint.
And there to the amended complaint, we were not, to my knowledge, the school defendants were not served with the initial complaint that I think was filed back sometime in...
I can make short work of that. There's no authorization to file an amended complaint. I would quash service of the amended complaint. I mean, you can't just file amended complaints. You have to get leave of court. So where'd you get leave of court, Mr. Webb?
Your Honor, the amended complaint was filed with a motion to...
But you can't serve it. You file a motion to amend, but you can't serve an amended complaint. So the service is quashed. Yeah.
No, Your Honor, it was attached to, it was, I guess, what? There was a motion, and it was an exhibit.
And I know you don't understand this process, and I appreciate that, but I'm going to quash the service of the amended complaint.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
If it's reported to be service of the complaint, it's quashed.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
All right, have a seat, Mr. Webb.
Very good, and I have an order, Your Honor.
So I'll make short work of that one. So in other words, you don't has the original complaint ever been served on you?
Not to my...
All right, and there's no motion pending today on a motion to amend, so that's not going to be heard today. So quash service, and Mr. Cafferty will take care of that order for me. And there's another motion, Mr. Cafferty, that you appear to have filed. I guess that's all it is, the motion to quash?
It was, Your Honor, was an alternative motion, and my sketch order here says that the motion for leave to file the demur and plea and bar is denied as moot.
Exactly. That's perfect. So is there anything else I need to take up on those motions for either?
Not for me, Your Honor.
Very good. All right. That takes care of it then. Thank you all. Thank you. And counsel and Mr. Webb, if you want to take a look at those orders outside and object or agree or however you want to do it, and then hand them back to me before you leave, I'll enter them. Thanks.
172837 Low v. Kaiser Foundation.
Mr. Webb could not find a single fact that would support a counterclaim against the association. The General District Court told him that it would sanction him in the future if he filed these pleadings. He had said, well, how am I supposed to know I'm not a lawyer? And the court said, well, if you're not a lawyer and you don't know it, then you shouldn't be filing it. Mr. Webb could not find a single fact that would support a counterclaim against the association. The General District Court told him that it would sanction him in the future if he filed these pleadings. He had said, well, how am I supposed to know I'm not a lawyer? And the court said, well, if you're not a lawyer and you don't know it, then you shouldn't be filing it.
Non incautus futuri is the motto of Washington and Lee University, not unmindful of the future. My name is Major Mike Webb, and I am running for U.S. Congress. Next year, in Jerusalem, in liberty, with honor and excellence, the South shall rise again. Honest.
This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.